Welcome along, this is it then, we're going for real now, ladies and gents. What a wonderful audience we have here at Plumpton, but we are live on X, Instagram and indeed YouTube. Welcome along, if you're watching from afar, to Plumpton's BetGoodwin Cheltenham Preview on the eve of eves and the greatest show on turf. As Julian warmed us up with a little few words, there are short prize favourites everywhere you look this week. I wonder whether our esteemed panel will be giving in or going with them. Let's find out. We've got Charlie Poste with us. Let's give him another round of applause, shall we? Welsh Grand National winning jockey somehow. We still have to keep looking back at the replays to make sure it was actually Charlie in the saddle. He's now, of course, point-to-point trainer and breaker to the stars, and he's a good pal of mine, and I'm delighted to have him here. He's extremely well connected, believe it or not. As is this man next to me. You'll probably all recognise, give a shout if you do, Aidan Coleman, multiple Cheltenham Festival and Grade 1 winning jockey. Recently retired out of the saddle, and while we've been asking you all to block out the noise, Aidan has indeed been filling his ears with all the information. So if there's something I mug up on today, he's going to be my man. At the end, of course, BetGoodwin himself, Julian Head, will be with us, playing the pantomime villain, of course, letting us know all of his boosts. Are we going to fill him in this week? What do we reckon?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Plumpton is always a good crowd here. All right, OK, let's have a little scene set then, shall we, before we move on to the first of our races, which we know, of course, we blocked out the noise. We know all the runners now. We know Kopek to Board is wearing a hood. Who's got a lot of love for the Kopek to Board in the hood? Or are we booing that one? It's Willie Mullins, it's the hot pot in the first. Has anyone got good dockets with him? Put your hands up if you have. Joe, come on, I know you have. You're absolutely sitting on a perlo, I think, aren't you? Julian, before he ran, this is the hot pot, of course, in the first, Kopek to Board in the Supreme. He was around about 12 to 1 before he won at Dublin. Has he then led the avalanche for anti-post bets?
I'd say not, and certainly on the first day, it's one that potentially we might get beat. It's touched even money actually earlier today. We're 10 to 11, this good thing. The first one of the four, odds-on favourites for the first, and I can't wait for Wednesday, Dave, to get this day over and done with.
Yeah, 4 Akkers, of course. Who remembers any power falling, of course, when the bookmakers were just about to crush a couple of years ago? It can happen, can't it? And there's always one that goes wrong. Maybe the panel will make us and push us towards the fact that this is going to be the Akker that lands. So, OK, Julian set the market for us. We've got 10 to 11. Now, Willie Mullins in the last 10 years has only won this 3 times. It goes hand in hand that we just think Mullins is going to win it. He's got a decent army here. It's not just about Kopek. Aidan, until Kopek to Board rocked up at the Dublin Racing Festival, this was a horrible race. We were looking at it thinking we need the star to come through. He's emerged, right?
Yeah, look, I've no doubt this time next year he'll have achieved a lot more than his other runners in the field. I don't think he's a betting price at that. There's a couple of question marks to me that I would not like to have over a horse this short in a race like this. So I wouldn't say not back him, but I just go and see the value in him at the moment.
It's punditry lark, Aidan. I've got a bit to teach you. You've got to get off the fence, old son.
Well, no, I'm going for Romeo Coolio anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, all right. I'm not going for the tips yet, Aidan. Come on, we've got to build the suspense here. All right, you're being filled in now for Romeo Coolio, Julian, while you could do nothing about it sitting there. Charlie. Talk to me about this horse, because look, you're both the horsemen, right? And we've got others in the audience as well that will know. They say he's extremely buzzy, which means keen. They say Cheltenham might blow his brains. The word is that when he went to Dublin, he was there for 48 hours beforehand. He'd settled in, chilled out, and was ready to go. And they're putting on the stinky hood. Willie Mullins loves the hood to calm these down.
You hate the hood, though.
I can't stand the hood.
Yeah.
I'm on him at 12 to 1 and I cannot stand the hood. I'm looking for a bet to try and get out of it. Is this one that you're thinking will just get over the line for the punters?
No, I'm against him. Yeah, I'm not with him. The only thing I would say, if you're worried about him boiling over, I'm not sure how much I buy into that. I think that'll be fine, but I'm not interested in him. I might be if I was on at 12 to 1.
Well, let's
10 to 11, not for me.
Fine. So they're taking on the first Fav. first time for everything for these two. And you've mentioned Romeo Coolio. Talk to me about him. We haven't seen him for a while, but he's Gordon Elliott and knows how to win this race.
Yeah, and I think it always comes back to festival form as well. He didn't win at the festival. He was second in the bumper, wasn't he? Should have an unbeaten year. They got the tactics wrong when he got beat. Yeah. Fairy House turned into a sprint. Got beat by flat horses that day, and I just think he's great value.
Are you worried about the fact that they might want to try and crack on with him again, tactics-wise?
Well, no, I think he's straightforward enough to do that now.
Doesn't need to lead?
No, I don't think so. And there'll be a bit of pace in this because they'll want pace for the favourite as well. Willie's got 5 in it, hasn't he? So they're going to want a level of speed, and I think that would suit Romeo Coolio. Yeah.
He's 13-2, Julian.
13-2 he is, yeah. I wouldn't mind laying that one. It's all about a Kopeck. For those of you who don't like backing odds on, you can always have a little distance bet. And with 5 lengths, over 5 lengths, you can have 5-2 Kopeck if you don't want to go odds on.
What if he's a hatchet job? Off the handbrake goes. He won by 12 around Leopardstown, didn't he? You're thinking if he's going to win, he wins well.
Yeah, and you punters can just come and collect.
All right, OK. Give us a tip then before we get on with it.
I'm with Romeo Coolio.
You shared a car down together. Are we going to? Is this going to be a template for the day?
No. You say that, we had to listen to you for 25 minutes calling us.
Listen, I'm a professional, mate. Don't you worry about me. I'll make sure no stone left unturned. I've got Chris Gordon to come yet and have a word with us. That's when it really might go a little bit haywire. OK, all right, let's move on to the Arkle then. They don't like the favourite. That's the thing. Have an each-way bet, they're saying. Of course, on Romeo Coolio. Let's move on then, the Arkle Trophy. The first race over the fences on the day, a race that was always going to cut up numbers-wise. You'll see it's 4-7 on then. Madgeburg, Julian. A lot of people, although he's a novice, think this is the green and gold banker of the week.
Yeah, they're getting dug into it. We'll see more money tomorrow. That's when they start all the accumulators running. And I had a little look on Odds Checker yesterday to see how we were on the odds-wise. And I put in the 4 good things on the first day, and lo and behold, we was the best odds. I don't know what the traders are doing. We were 7 to 1, 7.24 to 1, these 4 good things. And this, to me, I can't see it getting beat.
Well done, Alan. You're doing your job right. All right. and we're going in strong then. All right, Aidan Coleman. You'll notice that when Aidan, a lot of you saw him retire, he went to the Sandown Gold Cup meeting and he was the guest of JP McManus. So many winners did he ride in the green and gold. If you were, Mark Walsh tomorrow gets a spin, would you be serious, expecting a 1 next to your name after this?
100%, yeah. I can't see this getting beat. People have knocked his jumping a little bit, but it'd be a lot easier jump around Cheltenham than it would Leopardstown, from my experience.
He wasn't perfect around Leopardstown.
No, he wasn't perfect, but he was still won, and he wasn't that
Undulations don't worry you, like the trappy nature of the track and that.
No, I think he'll be fine. I really do, because he travels, doesn't he? So he'll be able to go where he wants. And fence at Cheltenham are a lot smaller than Leopardstown. I just think, and he's the best horse in the race as well. So
fences at Cheltenham are a lot smaller than they are at Leopardstown. There you go. All right, it is when he come home in front, I guess. You are taking him on then. I'm sensing from that because you had a little perler there.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to back Django by 7 to 1. As in, I think the drop back in triple suits him. I think the ground tightening up isn't a negative, and I think if he can keep tabs with them, it's only a small field in this. I think he's potentially interesting. I thought Nico would like another go at it from Sandown the last day.
Do you think he'd like another go at it from Sandown the last time?
Well, you always want another go when you don't win.
Yeah, all right, okay, yeah, that was very defensively played. Well done.
But it is true, though, isn't it? Well, you're not going to take beating the short
He's
head.
got a straight bat here, isn't he?
Like, absolutely, learned from Aidan O'Brien, seemingly. All right, okay. So, Nicky Henderson wins the Arkle.
Yeah.
Give him a go. No 5-year-old for a long time. Vorpora Steadies for BetGoodwin Ambassadors, last 5-year-old to win. Of course, he got weight for age then as well, so that's gone. I don't know, if you're not on Madgeburg now, there will be a few questions to be asked. A lot of people think he's the second coming. Let's talk about the Mayor's Hurdle now. Let's go on to that, shall we? That's going to be our next race on the Tuesday. And we're going to give you something called an Ambassador Acca for you to play it a little bit on, like so Chris, Alan King, Mike Cattermole, and Super Tommy Cannon, who's riding at Stratford today. Otherwise, he'd be with us. We'll be hearing from Tom via the power of media a little bit later on. But one of them, I thought when I asked them to compile it last week, they'd all go Galopin Des Champs. Step forward, Mike Cattermole. Straight in there. Tommy Cannon, straight in there, Constitution Hill. But Lossymouth was the selection of Alan King. He cannot see this being beat. He knew that she would probably go down the mare's road. They've chosen this choice. We're not going to get into the politics of that. She will be another shorty on the day, Julian.
Yeah, we got it 4 to 6, the Lossymouth. Again, distance betting, over 6 lengths. You can have 2 to 1, that good thing.
Over 6 lengths.
Over 6 lengths, the
Bullish
Lossie.
Julian Head is
2 to 1, bottle.
All right, let's
2 to
come
1.
to this. She doesn't go in the champion. We're going to go to that next. She won the race last year. Far from an ideal prep coming in, however.
Yeah, I crashed in 4 last time. As in, I think I'm going to be the same as you here. I'm Jay de Grugy now, as in the second string. Danny Mullins on board. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I liked her at Punchestown the last day. I think, did we watch it together, mate? I'm not, it's strong at the line. and I think she's really interesting at 9-2.
9-2 then, each way bet. Aidan, Lossymouth coming in off a full. Of course, horses have rocked up loads of times at Cheltenham before. Isterbrack did it, Moscow Flyer did it before they won. But what would you be thinking if you were Mark Walsh, who gets the plum ride here? Paul Townend. What would you be thinking? Just please, God, get round and I'll win.
The one worry I would have about her is last year they talked like she was a banker for this race as well, and they were worried about her being too keen. And they spent the whole season trying to get her to settle. Whereas this year, they've tried the whole season trying to make her a champion hurdle horse, and like she was off the bridle pretty much the whole way at Kempton. They went very hard when she fell the last day. I would worry she's just going to think, you know, it's a 2-mile race again or whatever.
You're taking her on?
I would. I think she's going to be too keen.
Oh, OK, that Acker's all of a sudden in a bit of trouble. Yeah. What with?
Probably has to be Jade DeGruzia's boring selection, but it's not the strongest race. It's not like for few runners, there's not a lot of depth in it, isn't there? And she's by far the best. I do like Henry's mare as well, and like I'm struggling to pick out a winner for Henry de Bromhead this week, but he's definitely going to have one. He always does, and he always has multiple horses run well at this meeting. So try and find a couple of his during the week to tip up, because he doesn't usually let you down at this meeting, and maybe July Flower a bit each way.
The ex-French filly, of course. He's actually 5-1. Jade DeGruzia would get him at BetGoodwin at the moment. I've just looked down. 5-1. We'll have some of that, please, Julian.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. You can get, you know, 3 places there. That is the Mayor's Hurdle. Right, let's get on to the big one then. Still considered the race of the week the Champion Hurdle for many, or is it the Gold Cup? What do we think about the Champion Hurdle? Who loves the Champion Hurdle? Come on, let's hear from you out there. Yes, absolutely. All right. Who loves Constitution Hill?
Yeah.
He's unbeaten.
Yep.
Hasn't Nicky Anderson done a great job in getting him back? He's up against the great Irish mare, Brighter Days Ahead. Thank goodness they put her in the race, Gigginsdown and Gordon Elliott. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a 7-1 on-shot, Julian, and the Acker would be landing on this one. What price is he currently?
We're 8-13, Constitution Hill. I think it's the best price in the village, and we've got the distance going again. 6 lengths, over 6 lengths, you've got 15-8 the Hill.
Over 6 lengths, 15-8 Constitution Hill to win. OK, how's the bankers getting on? Are you all filling out your bankers on the table out there? For anyone watching, we've asked the tables to rate their best Cheltenham banker, and we'll say it at the end because we might try and talk him into a stupid boost potentially. So the more we're swayed by that, the better it'll be. Aidan, let's come to you then. Constitution Hill. At the end of 2023. We were still expecting big things. He didn't make the fight in 5th. It all went wrong for them. He didn't turn up last year. They brought him back. A lot of people say he's not at his best. What do you say about that?
I think the form book would suggest he's not at his best. You know, like he wasn't as dominant in his 2 wins this year as but anywhere near it as he was his previous wins. I would worry that a horse that had so many ailments for literally a year, it doesn't leave a lasting effect. You know, like he had one thing after another last season, didn't he? Like the bad work, the colic. He was obviously a bit under the weather the whole time. I thought watching him run this year, he definitely was feeling the effects of that.
I know where this is going. Come on, let's cut to the chase. Is he winning tomorrow, or is he?
Brighter Days Ahead.
Brighter Days Ahead. Now, if you've ever watched Aidan on any of these shows that I do with him, he's got a very good record of tipping winners and tipping against favourites. I should say that. Why the mare?
I just think her performance at Leopardstown is the best piece of form on offer. People are buying into Constitution Hill Gallop at a couple of weeks ago at Kempton.
You're suggesting they ran platers against him?
Well, we know what they were, and they wouldn't be competitive in the Champion Hurdle.
I think you're being a bit dolly down on this.
Who
likes Brighter Days Ahead out there? Has anyone got a decent ticket about Brighter Days Ahead in the audience? Tumbleweeds, Aidan. Tumbleweeds. It'll be interesting to see what she does in the market, of course, Julian. She might just drift out. Stand by for that. Constitution Hill, come on, this is why we've always got on. And
yeah, for sure.
You're a crowd man, you're a crowd pleaser.
I'm with him, yeah. I mean, I like Julian's more than 6 lengths, 15-8. Yeah,
we watched him together on trials day outside the Cheltenham weighing room, and Nico came out afterwards and you were all ribbing him about that final flight. What went wrong there? It's not the first error he's made, is it?
Oh, it was rider error there, wasn't it?
You think it was jockey error?
Yeah.
Well, I know you all think it was jockey error. Yeah, it wasn't Constitution's fault.
No, but he was sharp, wasn't he? With his, he got him out of jail, and as a rider, that's what you need. So
I hope Nico's watching this.
I say it to his face, it's fine, you know.
You won't be able to ride those pointers at home view anymore when you want to get them out on the track. All right, so Constitution, the best you've ever seen? Let's start talking bullish. Michael Buckley thinks if he wins tomorrow.
As a kid, I was all Isterbrack, yeah. So I was in.
Same.
I still think he's got a bit to do to be considered as good as Istabrad.
All right, okay. Brighter days ahead. 1 for brighter days ahead. Constitution, I think, just wins. Get in the queue, and it will be 12 out of 12. And let's hope that Nico lets the handbrake off and we get that 15-8 in the bag. Thanks for that, Julian. All right, anything else on day 1 before we move on? Has anyone got any strong fancies? You've got the likes of the Ultima, you've got the National Chase with now a handicap. Anyone want to chip in before we move on?
I like the change of man, the Ultima.
I like it.
I know the price has gone a bit now, but I think he's rock solid. I think he's had a great year. He's only bumped up 2 after the Reynoldstown. I think he's nailed on.
Right.
To run very well in this.
That's the second season novice.
Yeah.
He is around about 6-1. Let me just do Julian's job for him here.
11-2, Dave.
11-2. You're on the money.
Give my money away.
You're on the money.
And a bit.
That's 6 places as well, Jules.
Hold up. No, I'm having a look. We're 7-1.
That's the 5 places.
Yes. Yes,
That's
I've
the
got
5
it.
places.
5 places, 7-1.
7-1,
And
that's
we're
lovely.
11-2 first 6 places.
They're coming for Broadway Boy. You know Sammy Twisted Davis well. They're confident about him.
Yeah, they are, yeah. He always runs well around Cheltenham. He'll be thereabouts, whether he's just too high in the handicap or not, I don't know, but you definitely get run for your money.
Yeah, there's a horse in here, I think, isn't there, called Grandeur Dam, who runs for Alan King. Now, sadly, Alan couldn't be with us today. Tommy Cannon very nearly won on this guy on January Trials Day meeting. Moon d'Orange was the horse that beat him, you'll remember. I caught up earlier in the week with Alan, who gave us some of his time. Hopefully we'll be able to see and hear that now.
Well, I think with the ground drying, he'll run in the 3 mile, the Ultima. I mean, he's never been a terribly quick horse, and you get away with it on slow ground 2 miles 5. But I think on sort of good to soft, which we're expecting next week, I know it's the first time he's going to try it, but he's always sort of looked like a horse that would stay. And Oliver Sherwood, who trained him originally before he came to me, always said, look, he's pretty slow, and the longer you go, the better he'll be. So I'm hoping that,
He was 20-1 that day, and he won everywhere bar the line. He's a horse that when he's fresh, he can do a bit of damage. And he will like the ground, I'm assuming.
Oh, I think the ground's fine, but as I say, on goodish ground, he needs farther. We ran him, I think we ran him at the December meeting, or at Cheltenham, or there might have been the November meeting, the old Mackerson, and he was run off his feet over 2 5 on good ground. So that was the thought. If it was good ground, we would step him up in trip. So that's the plan at the moment. He doesn't want a lot of racing. We keep him fresh, and he's in absolutely top form at the minute. We were delighted with him. He did his final breeze this morning about 20 minutes ago, and he looks in great order. So if he gets into a good rhythm, I could see him running very, very well.
That's the line we wanted. A line that the punters will want, Alan, is about Masaccio, of course, your tough, consistent grey, who you always felt as a novice hurdler was waiting to jump a fence. He's showed that this season. This is his métier, and it's a really good run on his first outing around Cheltenham on Trials Day 2. That was over the intermediate trip in the novice handicap. We're leaning obviously towards a race on Thursday.
We're going to put cheek pieces on him just to sharpen him that little bit, and I would be very nervous doing that over 3 miles 1. So we'll leave him in the plate, and we'll also put him in the novice handicap, and then see. But look, I really don't know which race he'll run in yet. I have to discuss that over the weekend. But I mean, I have to be honest with you. I don't think I've done a terribly good job getting him handicapped, and I think he'll struggle over 144 to win at Cheltenham. He could run well, but there'll be 1 or 2 better handicapped, I fear.
All right, great stuff. Alan, thanks very much for joining us, and enjoy the week. Try and do it.
You've missed my best chance.
Well, which is your best chance?
Well, I think Harbour Lake and the Potemps will run a hell of a good race. He won first time out at Aintree, and then he was just narrowly beaten, giving a lot of weight to a horse of Henry Daly's at Racket Raisin. He doesn't really want the ground too deep, so we've left him alone all winter, trained him for this. I'd be very disappointed if he's not placed.
BetGoodwin ambassador Alan King then. That's exactly what you wanted to hear. And Julian, you sponsor the yard. You must have got the up on that because you're 16-1. You're ducking this, Harbour Lake. I didn't think that was a name he was going to say. I've got to be honest.
No, it's a surprise, but I'm not on it. And we are ducking it. You've got to have a little bit of respect for Alan King. He's been in the game a long, long time. And good luck to him. He could do it a few Cheltenham winners now. Dave, couldn't he?
Let's hope Kingy's not watching it. That call went a lot better than I remembered, actually. He finds me rather insufferable, does Kingy, like the rest of you out there, I'm sure. Right, let's move on to Wednesday, shall we? And we can go to the Turners, the Grade 1 that opens up the card, been won by some of the greats. And after a bit of Mullins bingo, as we call it, we finally landed on a favourite in our final demand, unbeaten so far. for Brian Drew and Willie Mullins will be your 13-8 favourite, I think Julian will say. A lot of people thinking this might be one for the Brits. However, of course, with the new Lion himself also unbeaten for Harry and Dan Skelton. We'll see what the panel think. Julian, is this has been a bit of a funny race, isn't it, anti-post-wise, because we didn't know who was going where. We've landed now, the new Lion, not Fav.
No, it's a bit of a strange one, but I can see that changing. You know, he's a popular horse with these punters, and I can see that one coming back to favouritism.
We've got 2 unbeaten horses here for the powerhouse yards, if you like. We've got the yellow clay as well for Gordon Elliott, himself coming in unbeaten over hurdles. We've got Potter's Charm up against 6 Mile Bridge, Ding Ding round 2, who is Potter's Charm now unbeaten, despite the fact that that might not look the way on the track. What sort of race do we make this? This looks like a very, very good novice hurdle to me.
I'm really looking forward to this race. I think it could be like spectacularly one of the best of the week. Like, cause I find it very hard to, like everyone else, to split the first and second favourite. I do think Potter's Charm is ridiculous value here. You know, he's done absolutely nothing wrong.
14-1, Jules.
Yeah.
He's putting them towards the big ones.
I really think like you have to respect him. He won a Grade 1 over 2 miles at Christmas. You know, the negative the Challow has been for this race is it's we were discussing, you know, down there is it makes too much of a stare out of a horse maybe, and this is too sharp for them, and that's why maybe that's a negative for this race. But like Potter's Charm, the fact that they dropped him back, even though he's a course and distance winner, win a Grade 1 over 2 miles, I think he should be a lot shorter than he is.
Oh, no, I thought you were
You'll have to open up an account, Aidan, all these lovely big prices.
Yeah, if you give me some credit, I'll have it. Yeah.
He's probably had one for years, Julian. He's probably had one for years.
In his mum's name.
Oh, dear. All right, OK. Now, a lot of people might know Charlie is rather close to the Skelton clan. It's got to be said. Confidence must be high for the new Lion.
Confidence is high, but you've said this because you know that I like Final Demand in this race. So.
You're going against your great mate?
Yeah.
OK, all right. OK, you're supposed to be going on holiday soon as well, aren't you? That might be changing in a minute. I hope he's not paid for the flights. All right, so tell me about Final Demand.
I mean, they're both very good horses, and I'm not putting anyone off either way, but I just could see the new Lion travelling really strong into this, and Final Demand sort of outstaying him up the hill, you know. I think he's a relentless galloper. Willie said that he didn't want to go 3 miles with him. He must be ultra confident this is the right trip. You know, because in theory the Albert Bartlett's an easier fit.
Why did they muck around with maybe why he doesn't go here? Why didn't they show their colours and just say, come on,
Did
this
Willie
is his
ever
race?
say that? Was it Willie ever really leaning too much?
I think
the other
after
way?
Dublin,
Yeah.
wasn't it, guys? He came out and said, this is the race. I mean, loads of people out there sitting in at home as well, they'll be thinking, this is the big one I've got. He's a monster of a horse, isn't he, Final Demand?
He's a proper horse, yeah.
When you go there, you'll struggle to see, a bigger horse on the week. I think they were always going to go here.
No, that's what I mean. I think they were.
I think they were.
Yeah,
I think it's weird. A lot said about the difference in courses. Perhaps we'll go to Aidan on this one. It was a long time ago since you rode there, so we probably better not. The new and the old course. Well, we start on the old course, of course, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tell us the differences. Why are we always banging on about this?
Oh, because they might as well be in 2 different countries. They're vastly different. So the easiest way of summing it up is the old course is the speed track, champion hurdle, champion chase, and the new course is the stamina track, Gold Cup Stairs hurdle. And they ride very much like that. If you're good at riding one, you need to adapt and change your riding style for the other, because this track is always about speed and a bit more about probably less tactics.
The old course, which is tomorrow, of course.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
yeah. If you go forward and you can kick off the bend there and get away with it, whereas if you ride the new course, the Thursday, Friday course like that, it's not the right way to do it.
You preferred the new course, did you? The slower horses
Slow ones, yeah. You knew it, yeah.
They can get a bit better out there, can't they? All right, okay. So let's just round off the tips. I think Final Demand for Willie here takes it, doesn't he? Who's with me? Anyone with Final Demand? The monster in the pack. Someone for BetGoodwin's absolutely. That's interesting, isn't it? All right.
Oh, he's a shrewdy tell if you've got to watch him.
Might have to have a word with compliance there, Julian, which we're going to be doing a lot this week. All right, okay. So Final Demand.
Yep.
Potter's Charm.
Yeah.
Back on track. And Julian, have we got a special for this, or are we just going to let the greats have a go at each other?
We're going to let them have a go. We've got nothing in that one. I'm giving away, Dave.
You are. All right, fair enough. All right. That's going to be an absolutely brilliant main event. Let's go to the Proud Advisories then. Used to be known as the RSA, of course, where some of the great Gold Cup horses of the future do go to battle. Now, I'm not sure what's happened here. We've not got one British runner, have we?
No.
Well, you're the one with the British pointers. We should be having loads of your babies here, shouldn't we?
Too quick.
They're too quick. You want the Ida back, do you, at Cheltenham? Yeah, fair enough. No British runner.
Well, it happens sometimes, doesn't it?
It's a bit of a mockery for me, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
well, they're better off not in it than being in it to finish last, aren't they?
All right, okay. Well, yeah, you might be right. All right, okay, whatever that is, I'm getting into politics. I'll move on because we have got the champion chase to come, and I'm very looking forward to seeing what you say about John Bond. But what do you say about Ballyburn, and what price is Ballyburn, Jules?
Do you know what, Dave? They've taken them off the page. The old decks must be going up or something.
Oh, okay, I think I might have it. Let's have a look and see if I can get through. He is 6 to 5. You're beating even money. And then we got 72 Dancing City, himself unbeaten. Of course, over fences, third at the festival last year. Better days ahead. He won the Martin Pipe conditional race last year. I mean, it's a pretty good race. We've got the Albert Bartlett winner in here as well, don't we? Stellar Story, who's 12s as well. For what it's worth, I think he can give Ballyburn a race. Stellar Story, I think they found the right one. He's been a bit Marmite, hasn't he, so far?
I don't understand why, though. I really don't. He was really good the last day at Leopardstown. He was really strong at the line over 2-5. Leopardstown takes a lot of getting, so trip won't be a problem. He was 1 to 4 here last year in the hurdle races, and I think he should be similar price.
Yeah, okay, all right. You're probably not seeing any graphics on your screen for this because they came in a bit late for us. So 6 to 5 Ballyburn.
Not for me. No, as in, I just think like last year they were talking up as a champion hurdle horse, and like plans changed. He got thumped by Sergino. Yeah, he was good the last day, but this is it's going to be a real slogger's race. I think I'd rather be a Dancing City, if I'm honest. I think
tough bugger, isn't he, Dancing City?
Yeah, right sort for this race.
Is he more sort of an old-fashioned sort of Brown Advisory winner, maybe?
Maybe, but you got to take a short price to find out that
Why
Ballyburn
didn't he win at the festival
is.
last year then? You think he's just better horse this year?
I think Chasing has brought out, he looks better this time round, yeah.
But a lot of people thought Ballyburn would be odds on for this race. I guess if it was run in Ireland, he would be odds on, wouldn't he?
Well, I suppose, but like if you're going old-fashioned winners, if you look at the physique of Ballyburn, he's every inch an old-fashioned stamp of a chaser. And I think he'll stay.
All right. Think he stays, think he wins? Taking him on?
Yeah.
All right. I won't sit on the fence. I think Ballyburn will beat Stellar Story.
We think we should probably give a mention to Gorgeous Tom in this race as well. I think each way.
Another Henry de Bromhead horse.
Yeah,
I like the ground.
Well, even he's had a break since his last run. He was fourth. But he was fourth, beaten I think it was like half a length by the winner. It was like a really close finish, and he was staying on at the end. Henrys are coming into form. Don't think he's classy enough to win, but. He's an each way price.
12 to 1 shot? Yeah, okay. All right, there's a range of opinions then on the Brown Advisory. That's the novice races done and dusted for Wednesday. We're coming up to half time. I think the pace is quite good so far. Let's go to what some people consider the race of the week, the Queen Mother Champion Chase. And again, a race where the dead eight go, actually, don't they? Julian, this is an odds-on shot, which is also, for some reason, a bit Marmite with people. He's got 1-1-1-1-1-1-1 next to his name. And yet you're 10 to 11 on, as JP McManus comes in to get ready to fill his boots, I think. Maybe that's Patrick coming in. There's every chance, isn't there? Tell me why 10 to 11 then. Were you expecting this to be short? Because you were 5 to 6, you were 4 to 5. You're pushing the boat out.
Well, we generally like to keep our prices competitive, so I don't think our traders are giving it a great deal of thought, because Tips On looks a massive price for this consistent horse. 17 out of 20 wins he's had. And it's going to be popular on the distance. We're only going over 5 lengths on this John Bond, and you can have 5 to 2. 5 to 2 over 5 lengths, John Bond.
Bit of tic-tac for you out there. That's what you get with Jules. All right, before we go to Aidan, is this a favourite you're taking on?
No. I'm with him, definitely.
1-1-1. All right, okay.
Cheltenham, people have crabbed Cheltenham, but, he's been beat by Constitution Hill, El Fabiolo, when everyone thought he was the second coming. He has won here, and I think with the ones that he's taken on, he doesn't need to be at his best. I think, as Aida's going to say, if it was at Sandown, he'd be 10s on.
Well, you said to me in the car as we were coming down, I chatted to you about this. For those of you who aren't sure, Aidan Coleman was the guy that helped shape John Bond's career. He was the horse that probably
helped shape mine, to be honest.
I think he probably did, Aid. But you obviously know this guy better than most.
Yeah.
10 to 11 on. If this race was won at Sandown, you told me he should be
1 to 10.
1 to 10 on. Why is he not then?
I'm adamant. He's definitely not his best around Cheltenham. The track doesn't, the undulations don't seem to suit him as much. In saying that, there's nothing he's not a bad horse around Cheltenham by any means. And he's by far the best in this. He isn't. The negative is he's not at his best here, but at the same time, I can't see what is going to improve beyond him to win this race and beat him. Someone said to me, "Oh, could you not imagine there's always excuses at Cheltenham every time he runs there?" I said, "Yeah, but why is there no excuses every other track he's ever ran at? It's always here, isn't it?" That would be my argument. But at the same time, it's hard to find something to beat him.
It's interesting that you're not massively positive on him because of the ups and downs and Prestbury Park. And, of course, he bumped into Constitution Hill, didn't he, on one of the times he was beaten. I quite like a Marine Nationale here on the drying ground. I've been telling people to get involved with that. I think that's 6-1 Gonjals. He's 4-1 with you now. He could be the one that you're about to get him beaten, like this guy, right? Supreme Novice Hurdle. Haven't seen the best of him recently, but lots of reasons to believe it might be tomorrow.
Without doubt, yeah. I mean, like, I think if you're looking to take John Bon on with something, he is the one. It's like the more the ground that dries out, the better. And Nergamine, again, for the other reason I couldn't be with at all.
No.
They're going to go hard here, aren't they?
Solness will, yeah. I think all that will like nearly play into John Bon's hands, to be honest. I do like Marine Nationale in the fact that like he's just been a slow burner over fences, like Charlie would probably explain better than me. He hasn't looked like he's loved it. But the last couple of runs...
I think he's going to love it tomorrow on Wednesday.
No, that's what I mean. I think the last run was a big step in the right direction. I think now his jumping is up to champion chase standards. I think he'll like Cheltenham, which he obviously does. His best piece of form is there.
Do you think he'll beat John Bon?
I think he'll beat John Bon. Oh. I think he might just beat John Bon, yeah. I mean, John Bon's got to run at a lot below form, right? One of our ambassadors has napped John Bon, actually, and we're about to go and get a word with the master trainer himself, with Mike Cattermole. But any other business on day 2? Everyone loves the bumper, don't they?
No.
What do you mean, no? Did you never get a ride in it?
I was second in it once. I never liked it. I'd never run a horse in it if I owned them. I hated the race.
What, you think they leave it behind there, do you?
I think it's too rough. I don't like the race.
Look, they just want to back winners.
We don't like the race, though.
So you're not tipping in this?
No.
All right, he's being precious.
For the Dan Skelton team, I mean, again, he's short, but be aware, and the Coral Cup been laid out for this. I feel sad, though, because I looked at, I backed Bunting at 50s in the County Hurdle, and he's now been declared in the Coral Cup, which makes me feel sad.
All right, okay.
And then Bustleton in the cross country, blinkers back on.
For Joseph O'Brien.
Yeah.
Tends to nick at least one on the week, Joseph,
Yeah.
doesn't he? So you are tipping Harry Skelton and Dan Skelton.
Yeah.
Harry and Dan. He's back in with you. All right, okay. That is day 2 pretty much done and dusted. We've got a Q&A section at the end as well. So if you want to ask if you think we're missing anything here, we can't just spend an hour, unfortunately, on the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Get your questions in, okay, and we'll ask them. You know, we don't worry about Watershed on social media. You can ask pretty much what you like. But you will now see, look, dressed for success, Chris, the master trainer Gordon, with Mike Cattermole. Give him a round of applause.
There he is.
Woo!
You're always well turned out, Chris, to be fair, aren't you?
Thanks, Cap, but I feel a little bit overdressed today, I must say, looking at the panel, apart from our lovely Julian here. But no, feel a little overdressed, but there we go.
I'm not wearing a tie. You're making me feel bad. So, listen, the Cheltenham week. I mean, your horses at the moment coming into it, they were in better form before, earlier in the season, which is a real bummer for you, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not in great health at the moment, so it's one of those. We've had a bit of a head cold going around the yard the last sort of 2-3 weeks. So we're just struggling. We're not doing them any harm by running them, but they're not quite seeing the races out as well as they should do. So we're there. We're going to have a crack. We got 2 on Friday, so fingers crossed.
Good. Our champ in the County Hurdle and Electric Mason and the Martin Pipe.
Yeah, so our champ in the County Hurdle is a race. Gosh, we were second in it a few years ago with a horse called Remilak, and I think Highway 102 got beaten 4.5 lengths in it a couple of years ago. But so. You know, he's a very tough, hardy horse, even though he's got the horrendous flu on him. But, you know, generally when you see him run, he won the Sussex Champion Hurdle. He's a winner at Cheltenham as well, which does help enormously. The jockey's really stupid, so he doesn't get nervous.
That's your son you're talking about, Chris.
That's my son. He wouldn't even actually know it's the festival. He just thinks he could be riding anywhere in the world. So, you know, we just send him out there and put him on and unleash the boy. But no, he's a tough, hardy horse, and I took him out yesterday on my own on Sunday, and we did a bit of work next to a Great Dane next to me and a Whippet on the other side, and luckily he beat the Great Dane. Sadly we couldn't catch the Whippet, but no, look, he's in good order, and I'm sure he'll run his race, even though we're not on top form. It's one of those things you could run an absolute blinder and finish 10th, you know.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And listen, Electric Mason, on his best form, I think all that form behind the new Lion, he's an improving horse. If he's on song, he's got a right chance in the Martin Pipe with Freddie.
Yeah, if he was on song, yeah, I know we'd be excited.
I mean, he's how far off on song is he? I mean, you say he's got a bit of a cold.
Well, look, both my Cheltenham horses are on antibiotics, put it that way. So that's just the way it is. But they're on a legal antibiotics, well, basically a very legal one. It is like having a head cold, so we're just trying to keep away the snots and things like that. But it's not ideal, and my mental health is reflected by my horse's health, and so I'm not great at the moment. But look, Electric Mason, when you look at his form, he's a very solid horse. Do you know, at the beginning of the season, we won at Fontwell, and we were given a mark because we'd been placed time before. We were second at Utoxeter, and we're given a mark of 117. And we just beat one of Jamie Snowden's, what's it called, love? Lawrence Bay. Yeah, Lawrence Bay. So I phoned up Jamie. I said, God, excuse me, it doesn't matter about my language too much here. I know I'm going to keep steady away. So I phoned up Jamie and I said, God, mine's been given 117. What's yours got? Yours got? He said 116, which is saying how mad the whole thing was. And anyway, after I'd had a second cup of tea, I phoned up a handicapper and I gave it to him. And then it was just where the hell have you plucked this from? And I had little idea at the time, but I wanted to go for the EBF. But the EBF was to go. We'd come for a qualifier down here of 117, finishing the first four. It'd be wonderful if we won, but it'd be slightly better if we finished fourth and got qualified. But anyway, go for the EBF. Anyway, I phoned up the owner. We've got two owners, and so the main guy is a chap who owns Romeo Coolio, the horse in Ireland. And Rabo, he's quite new to the game and he's great. He's chucking a lot of money at it. And I phoned up Rabo. What's your plans with the horse? I said, right, what we want to do is we want to go to Plumpton, get qualified for the EBF, and then we're going to go to Sandown. Plumpton, I'm not going to fucking Trumpton. My favourite racetrack in the country. Fuck Trumpton. And he goes, when's the EBF? And so I said, the EBF's the week before Cheltenham. So he used a bit of terrible language again and said basically...
I'm glad you said it that way that time. Wow. Apologies for the fruity language, ladies and gents.
We don't have enough fruity language nowadays. And anyway, so we were very much, it was no way to Sandown, you're going to Cheltenham. So I've thrown it at that horse. We were 117. I thought, oh my God, we're going to have to go into a straight novice of 117. It's going to be embarrassing. So I've actually had a right crack with the horse, and we've gone to Newbury, finished third, ran a blinder, 117. So it's gone up to 132, basically. That's where we finished up. So there we go. Fingers crossed.
That was a very, very long, convoluted, X-rated explanation there, Mr. Gordon. But we thank you for it. Listen, good luck with them both. And you must be very proud of Freddie. Of course you are, you and Jenny. He's doing so well.
Thank you.
Oh, right, great. No real bleep machine needed there, ladies and gents. We're good. Chris, honestly, have a good week, eh? Best of luck. Dave, you're on to Dave 3. Chris Gordon, the legend.
That was, yes. I was going to invest in a bleep machine, but I will next time. Yeah, I will next time. And Jenny, you can relax now. I saw you looking terrified throughout the whole of that, Chris's wife. But just quickly, Chris, while we've got you, Freddie is riding in the Martin Pipe, isn't he? And there is one in particular. Oh God, I must be mad giving him the mic. But in particular, there is one he's looking forward to.
Yeah, they've turned it off.
Okay.
Oh God.
Right, we're away. So, so we'd be, of course, very keen for Freddie to be riding our lad in the Martin Pipe, but we've got Caelan Quinn at the moment, unless Freddie suddenly came available, which is highly unlikely. But his main, Freddie's obviously based in Nicky Henderson. He's very excited about riding East India Express in the Martin Pipe, and fingers crossed it gets in. But you know, he's been buzzing about this for a very long time. And, you know, went and won it to where we, Kempton on Boxing Day, was it? And won at Ascot the week before that. But no, he's pretty confident for Freddie, yeah.
Massive plot job. And Freddie good enough to ride for Nicky Henderson. We'll give him a touch. Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Not to be, give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Not to be confused with East India Dock, of course. No. Which when I was on Sky the other day, the researcher was, and we said to the tipster that was with me, put up your nap. He said East India Dock, and the researcher put up 12-1. I think Julian's phone has just stopped ringing for that. So that is, of course, on the first day in the Triumph Hurdle, which we're going to get to. Let's move along then, shall we? Go to, what is it, Stayers Hurdle Day, Ryanair Day? What do you call it? 2 Grade 1s. We will kick off with the Ryanair. Got the producer in my ear going, for God's sake, make it the Ryanair, man. And hopefully that's coming up on your screen now. So the Ryanair Chase. Jules, where are we looking with this? Factor File, of course. No Galopin Des Champs for him to worry about here. The Brown Advisory winner, of course, from last year. A lot of people think this is his actual trip. We'll get to him. What price are we looking at?
You tell me, Davey boy.
OK, I will. I'm going to get there. Hang on a sec. I've got the updated. Ryanair's right at the bottom of yours.
Yeah.
6 to 4. 6 to... You're in, are you? You're hovering, are you?
Well, I don't mind him at that, no.
All right, you know about a bit about him as well. OK, 6 to 4. Jules, have we got a special with this guy? Because are we just going to let this one go?
We let this one go. It's normally them lovely odds-on shots that I try and get them to do a distance bet or something of that nature. Occasionally, we do manage to get a 6 to 4 shot beat. Very occasionally. I wonder whether this is a horse that might go shorter. Again, the green and gold silks, they're going on, Nade. What are we thinking when we're going out onto the track?
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go off shorter than this.
Get a special ready, Jules.
I really am. I cannot have Il Francais around Cheltenham on this course. I think he should be running
the French horse, Il Francais.
He should be running the Champion Chase if he's any chance of winning the Cheltenham.
That's interesting.
Because he might be okay on that course. I don't think he'll get up the hill in this course first time, never mind the second time.
He's dropping back for 3 miles, isn't he?
It doesn't matter, it's 2.5 around here. It'll take a lot more getting than Kempton.
So put a line through Il Francais. Anyone like Il Francais? You can boo.
Yes.
We got, Mike, okay. Add another 0 to that then. And we got the other guy from... yeah. right, okay. That was quiet on that one. Factor File.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lead you into this, but you do know a little bit about this horse, don't you? You've been watching him throughout his career.
Yeah.
We'll say that, shall we?
Yeah, exactly. As in, I think he was really good one day in the John Durkin, which was a great race, made up as a Cheltenham Festival trial, but it was a brilliant race in its own right. You know, he's bumped heads with Galopin Des Champs the last twice, ridden differently. I think this is the right move for him. Il Francais had worry, he's a bleeder. You know, you're never guaranteed. Protectorat, Galop Warrior, it's ground concerns. I think this horse at 6 to 4 is a really good price. If I'm
Charlie,
honest.
would you worry about Il Francais on the track?
I just worry about him full stop. You know, flat
yeah.
track round Kempton, he got into a really good rhythm.
Yeah.
This is a way harder track to be getting into that sort of rhythm. And like I say, I think he's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're getting some questions from Twitter as well, and the places like that as well. Great to have you out there watching, guys, at home or wherever you are. Il Francais in the right race. There's a guy called Steve out there, so you're talking absolute codswallop. And he's 3 to 1 at the moment.
He can't win either, though.
You can't. You don't think he's just? Is this a lay then, Il Francais?
I mean, whether I'll be.
He's going to go off on the clappers as well, isn't he? That'll suit the favourite, surely.
Yeah, and it's not the right track really to do that kind of. It's a harder track to do that on. Yeah.
This is quite a deep Grade 1 though, isn't it? A lot of the tipsters I work with are looking to try and get this one beaten. Anything else in there, Jello? Maybe for Venetia?
I mean, Jello's interesting. I actually think of all of them at the prices, I'd rather be playing him. But I mean, again, is the ground a slight concern if it keeps drying up? Protectorat's the same, and Galop Warrior very much so as well. So I think 6 to 4 Factor File will end up shorter on the day.
All right. What about Protectorat, last year's winner for your mate, Harry and Dan? You're peeing them off again.
Yeah.
What? Just suited totally by Windsor last time. Bit too old.
I mean, Windsor is a very sharp track.
Weird track, isn't it?
I think it'll end up being like a specialist
track,
track, if you know what I mean. I think plenty of horses that get beat round there will come out and win afterwards.
All right, okay. We might see Galop Warrior in this race as well. That is the RYANAIR. So, Factor File?
Yes, definitely.
Factor File?
Yeah.
Strong?
Strong, yeah.
Strong. We like that. Okay, what are we going on to now? Is it Stayers Hurdle now?
Yeah.
Yes, it is the Stayers Hurdle. Is this the banker of the week for anyone out there? Tuhupu, last year's winner. Let's hear if anyone's bankering this one, because he has been on the drift.
Jet bloke there, he's all over it.
Yeah, Tuhupu, sir, I'm looking for... That very, very quiet, which is making me slightly worried, because I do fancy the life out of this one.
You worried about the ground, though, or not?
Obviously not.
No.
I've been doing this job for a little while, believe it or not. I know you probably think not. I don't think he turns up and wins whatever. We want winners, don't we? Winners. It's as simple as that. Winners. Tuhupu is a winner. Julian, you must have a price about this one. And are we going to give me a little bonus that I can get involved with?
Well, Dave, we're 11 to 10 this Tuhupu. It is quite right. It's a drifter. And I've got a nice little boost on the distance. Over 5 lengths. We'll lay carpet. Tuhupu.
3 to 1, the distance then. All right. OK, tell me about why he can't win this race. And you think the ground, we very lightly raced Tuhupu. We've only seen him, once since last year's win. Apparently he takes a lot out of himself, doesn't he? And they kind of get him right, cherry right, and they get him right a lot. You didn't like the Lossy Mouth comeback either. He was beaten, obviously, when he was
He's
come back.
beaten. I mean, and that's like the Hatton's Grace is his sort of pre-Christmas target, isn't it? And then he comes straight onto here. I'd just be slightly concerned about the ground. I'm not saying he can't win, and I'd be delighted to see you. Maybe you do an Ollie Murphy and chase him up the track or whatever. If he wins. Yeah, I'd like to see that more.
Listen, that's happening. I'll be running around my local pub if this wins, I can tell you that much. All right, Tehupu, tell me about this guy, Aidan.
Yeah, I'd be a big fan.
Yes.
It's probably a slightly stronger race than last year, but still not the best race in the world.
Is it?
Like, slightly, I think, yeah. Like, but the second favourite, it looks like an improving 10-year-old, which is madness, isn't it?
Home by the Lees.
Yeah, he does look better than ever this year, and he's 10. I do think the overlooked one here is Lucky Place. You know, from a yard that does lend itself to have a lot of talking horses. This guy, like, he's won 2 Grade 2s quite well this year, and it's a very likeable horse. He probably is the value, but I struggle to see past the favourite.
7-1 with BetGoodwin. Lucky Place. Not for me. I know he's got some. He's the improver, isn't he? But no.
No, he's got to. I mean, he's got to. We've got to prove he definitely stays as well. I like the War Park if he turns up here. If I'm honest, you know, as in, like, I know he's. I presume he's still got the Potemps option, hasn't he? But I think he's going to go this way.
The Wall Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit of an eye catcher around.
I mean, Crambo, yeah, he got Ascot the last day. He was too far back.
Yeah.
This track will suit much better.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's the Stayers hurdle done. Banker time. Tehupu for Dave Orton out there. Lay at your will. Okay, now, Tommy Cannon, BetGoodwin ambassador. Nearly slipped.
That's half your fee gone. Half your fee gone. Yeah.
That's all gone, Davey. Come on, Tehupu. We need it. BetGoodwin ambassador. Super Tommy Cannon. Who backed the dart? I don't know who's been watching these, but I do a dart for Julian and the team. We call them the darts. We got a nodder out there. It was a BetGoodwin affair on Saturday. We went to Sandown for the listed bumper. Alan King says wins. Tommy Cannon says wins. Charisma Cat wins.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I can get a dart on the board every now and then. And yeah, look out for them. Each day I'm going to give them to you guys at Cheltenham as well. But Tommy's at Stratford today. He would have been here with us. I did catch up with him. Please God, social media. We can play this in now with a little chat about his runners.
Yeah, I'd say she's the best of the British, you know, going into that race. She's won over 2 miles. She's won over 2 miles 5. The trip shouldn't be a problem. The ground shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to her. I think, you know, potentially my best chance of the week, hopefully. You know, she gets out in front. She's very straightforward. And like I say, she's got the pace to fend them off, and she seems to stay the trip well. So hopefully she could be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, we'll be cheering you on there. You've got Jax Jr., of course, a horse that's shown himself to be very useful for Lucy Wadham. Going in the Albert Bartlett.
Yeah, going up in trip. He's been obviously looked very impressive the couple of times he's won this year. Possibly, yeah, you know, if things had gone different in the Sydney Banks, you know, he may well have won. But you know, maybe it was just the ground was on the slower side that day, and he might be another one that, you know, could surprise a few people on some slightly better ground. You know, he has had a wind up in the past, so it wouldn't be the biggest surprise if, you know, there was a bit of good ground. With the experience and with what he's done so far, it might sort of bring him on again. So yeah, he's a bit of a dark horse. He could run a blinder, or he could be completely out of his depth. But you know, that's why you have horses to run at Cheltenham to find out. There's only one Cheltenham, isn't there?
What about Harbour Lake in the Potemps? I could tell you, King, he's quite sweet on this one.
Yeah, look, he's obviously run well around Cheltenham in the past. He's on a fair mark. You know, I can see him winning off that mark. I hope it's at Cheltenham. So he won at the start of the year at Aintree and looked good and looked like a sort of different horse to how he had been the year before. So runs well fresh as well, which will help. Seems to sort of maybe have a bit left to come over 3 miles as well. So if he can get there in the form that he's run there before, then, you know, it wouldn't be beyond him. But again, you know, you're probably open to horses with a few duck eggs next to their name going into it that have been aimed at the race for a long time.
Yeah, that will be the Potemps, all right. All right, Tom, look, big week ahead. We wish you well. Hopefully come back with at least one next. You know, before you go, if you could ride any horse at the festival in any of the races, which one would it be?
I would ride Constitution Hill, I think.
Yeah, that was an easy answer, that one, Tommy, wasn't it? Happy days. All right, one for the Brits on the board on day one. Super Tommy Cannon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Super Tommy Cannon, I can tell you he is pretty sweet on Telepathique as well. We'll get to that on the Friday, but he says he wants to be with Constitution Hill. Now, Julian, they have been voting with their pens and paper and online as well. And I have had it breaking news. The traders are about to get filled in because you've got a boost for us here, haven't you, on the Champion Hurdle?
Davey boy, I've got a wonderful boost. I believe it's a half an hour early.
Yes.
A maximum stake 50 quid. We're going to be laying evens this Constitution Hill.
Even money, Constitution
Even
Hill for 50
money.
quid. This is what you get from the great man, who's definitely BetGoodwin.
Not Betfair.
I'm still available, Barry, if you're watching. All right, okay. All right, even money. Who wants a bit of that even money? 50 quid. Open up an account with BetGoodwin. Yes, absolutely. Claire's loving that over there. Like it. All right, great stuff. That takes us on then. While they get filled in, it's not going to last too long. We are going to be doing an Ambassador ACCA for you boosted as well at the end when we give our bets of the week. But it's time to go to Friday and the Triumph Hurdle and the aforementioned East India Dock up against Lulamba, of course, of Nicky Henderson's unbeaten. Lots of confidence we're hearing about that guy. And, of course, we've got the unbeaten Irish horse. So Gavin Cromwell, I think we all know will have a pretty good week again. He is around about your 11-2 shot as well. East India Dock, the Triumph Hurdle, Jules, is a race that gets people going. It's the first one on Gold Cup Day. It's the babies of the future. East India Dock's been popular throughout the run for James Owen. He's unbeaten.
He is unbeaten, and it does, on paper, perhaps look a match between them. But our biggest liability is the Hendo second string. This Palladium costs £1.4 million. Hendo said a little while ago there wasn't an awful lot to choose between him and Lulamba. So that's good enough for our punters. They was all on at 14-1. We're 10-1 it now. Palladium.
You're having a duck of the German Derby winner. 1.4 million, of course, he costs. What do we make of this race this year, the juveniles? A lot of people saying it's very strong.
I can't have Palladium. Can't have him on my mind at all. I think he was very unimpressive at Huntingdon.
You were there that day, Julian, weren't you, at Huntingdon?
I was, yeah. I think we were in the second leg of the maiden division. We dodged it. The time was much quicker than our race. It was a workmanlike performance, but it's only just started the game.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
there's improvement now.
I think he might be a potential price-wise in the post and all that. Three big ones at the top of the market then. Where are we going with East India Dock then, Aid?
He'd be like my idea of as close to a good thing of the week as you can. I think
Close is a good thing of the week.
Yeah,
15-8.
Yeah, I really do. I think he ticks all the boxes. I'm pretty sure probably in 2 years' time the Lambo will be a better horse of these two. But I think this year is all about East India Dock. You know, he was a very solid flat horse. He's loved Cheltenham. Doesn't look like he'll mature physically too much, so he's very much a now horse. I think next year, obviously, whatever Lambo will do, he'll improve. I just think for this Friday, East India Dock is the better horse.
All right, East India Dock. For James Owen, trainer who's come out of nowhere and surely going to get a championship winner before long. Are you with it?
No, we're taking each other on here. Lulamba for me. The one thing I do agree, I couldn't have Palladium on my mind at all.
Why?
I just think like it was in a workmanlike performance. I think his jumping needs to be a lot sharper. I mean, the German Derby form is terrible in all honesty.
And he finished last his next run even
Yeah,
after
and
the
then
German
he got
Derby.
stuffed in
Keep
another
pushing
round.
him out, Julian. Keep pushing him out.
So, but yeah, Lulamba for me, I think he's a potential superstar.
Yeah, okay. Gave £10 to a horse that hasn't
Mondo
really
Man,
gone on with
yeah.
it since Mondo Man at Kempton.
Yeah.
There's a few burnt fingers out there, aren't there? But it was better the further he went, all that sort of stuff. Beautiful looking animal.
Yeah, he is, yeah. And you know, this race is no longer like a lottery that it was on the new course, loads of time. Yeah, I think he just looks very, very good. And I think 2-1 is a great price about him.
2-1, yeah, 15-8, 2-1. Why is Hello Neighbour so big? I don't get it. He's unbeaten. He's Gavin Cromwell. He won the form race coming into it this spring at the Dublin Racing Festival. He obviously wears a hood, the dirty hood. I'm hoping they discard it actually on Friday. But I thought he looked like one of the best each way bets of the week to me.
Well, on his last form, there's actually a mare that finished second to him called Galileo Dame, and I'm not sure whether she runs in the mares on the Thursday or this, and she's worth following.
Yeah.
She should have beat him the last day. She nearly fell early on.
She was nearly a classic horse on the flat.
Yeah, but she nearly fell. Like, she should have won at Leopardstown. She nearly fell and did well to get back there. I think they're quite keen to keep her a novice till next year, unless they win one of these types of races. So wherever she shapes up, she's worth a look this week.
All right, that's a strong novice hurdle. We're obviously going to the Albert Bartlett race now, which is over the 3 miles. People call it the potato race, of course. Albert Bartlett for the Spuds. And you're trying to find a winner here, and it's not going to be easy. It looks like the big Westerner, as it stands, for Henry de Bromhead. 4-1 with BetGoodwin. Julian will be the favourite. This is a lottery, right?
It does look a lottery, and it could be one for those bookmakers to get some of their money back.
Yeah, all right. We've got JetBlue from France as well. Jasmine Defoe, the bumper winner.
Oh,
what's it?
no chance.
No chance, says Poste. That's it. A bit more fighting talk, please. Wingmen, of course, 10-1 for Gordon Elliott. And Wendigo for Jamie Snowden, who I think's got a chance at a prize. I quite like him.
You nicked
like
that
it?
off me.
I wasn't in the car, but maybe you left me on speakerphone. What you were doing, your insider talk.
Yeah, I like Wendigo. Second to the new line. You know, I had a cant around at Weatherby. I think the step up in trip will really suit. Like, this race is often won by a bit of a plodder, you know, and I think Wendigo ticks a lot of boxes.
11-1 we're getting with BetGoodwin.
Shortened up a lot, actually.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, it has been a mover. Aidan, if you were riding one in this, what would it be?
I find this race a very tricky race to work out. Prices of the recent last 20 winners would suggest that favourites or anything close to it don't win this race today. I do like a Lucinda Russell horse here called Derry Hassan Paddy.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't have a lot of great confidence in tipping horse in this race, to be honest.
Nice big horse, Derry Hassan Paddy, and they've won it, of course, haven't they? With what was the horse? Brindisi Breeze, wasn't it? Also, yeah, okay. All right, they're the 2 novice races on the Friday. We're coming to a crescendo now in a business end. I can see a lot of hungry punters out there as well. So lunch is on the horizon, all right, as well. The bar remains open, by the way. I haven't seen a lot of people going to and fro there. You're all being extremely well behaved at the moment.
Chris looks thirsty.
Chris is absolutely legless. I mean, I do. All right, okay. Is this the race of the week? It's the Cheltenham Gold Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's got a lot of love. They've woken up. Happy days. Is Galopin Des Champs the horse of the week?
Yes.
Ooh, bit of descent in the ranks there. What price are we about to Great Galopin, Jules?
We're 2s on Galopin. I think we're best in the village. And 7 lengths is the distance on this beauty. Over 7 lengths, we lay 13-8 Galopin.
Only 13-8. There you go. The confidence is that high. Posty, come to you. He will join the likes of Best Mate, of course. Arkle, 3-time winner. Does he do it?
He does. He's better than Best Mate.
Yeah.
Henrietta Knight, I can only apologise. I suppose if you're with Galopin Des Champs, that would be something of a question mark. She used to get a lot of stick hen, didn't she, for wrapping him up in cotton wool, Best Mate? But it meant he got there all the time. He's had a lot of runs over fences for also he's coming back to well. I mean, this is the test of tests, right?
Yeah, but he's a proven over the course and distance. You know, his 2 prep runs have been fantastic, and I just think he's a real high quality performer. Banbridge makes it interesting, especially if the ground stays good.
Banbridge could well be a gamble, I think. He's around about 9-2 at the minute. Let's see what, 4-1.
But this is a weaker race than his 2 Gold Cups before.
I know the way your thinking has been supplemented into this as well. I'm in 2 minds about having a nice prize for the Grand National because, of course, there's only 3 weeks between the Gold Cup and Aintree. Does that mean that Frank Berry et al. Are confident that this lad given a good sight?
I suppose I'd say they're looking at the field of the Gold Cup and think it's well below par for a normal one, and thinking it's good prize money on offer, and if anything happens, Galopin Des Champs, they could have a Gold Cup winner. But it's far from a vintage Gold Cup, and I struggle to see how Galopin Des Champs isn't a lot shorter than he is.
Yeah,
you're talking
Jordan
about
2's on.
Yeah, I cannot see. He's a small field. He's tactically extremely versatile. He's a very sound jumper. I just don't see your 2's on to jump around is what it is. He's by far the best horse in the race, by far.
And he will become immortal then and go up there.
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah, all right. So 13-8 for the distance is not the worst thing you've ever heard?
No, definitely not, no.
No, all right, okay. I wonder if he's a horse like that.
Thank you, Aidan.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had to like it. Okay, all right. No, listen, Monty Starr got to move up, hasn't he, for Henry de Bromhead? But this looks like it is a banker for a lot of you out there on the week. 2's on then, best in the village, says Julian. Mike, I'm going to join Mike Cattermole again. Yeah, Mike, can you stop chatting up the hostess, please?
Yeah, we're just trying to organise lunch here.
This is the cat.
You know.
If you know him, this is no surprise, but I should have known.
What is he like,
But, Kat, we've got some questions for the crowd.
Yeah, we have. Some really good... Thanks very much for those of you that filled these in, by the way. So we're going to start off with Andy Gilbert's question, table 5. Where are you, Andy? There you go. Andy's question to the panel, Dave, is best outsider tip of the week. That's a good one.
Posty.
Best outsider.
Would we call Wendigo an outsider?
Yeah, I mean, Well, I mean, Wendigo was sort of 20s 10 days ago. So yeah, Wendigo would be for me. Yeah.
Wendigo, Andy, in the Albert Bartlett. Aidan, have you got one?
Jeez, I can't think at the moment.
No. You've been on more previews than anyone I know, which takes some doing. And yet,
I like the company sergeant as well. I mean, in the novice handicap chase for Gavin Cromwell.
Someone had to mention that. Yeah, of course, that's a race that's come back to the festival.
Yeah.
You mean over the 2-4?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's entered in both the handicap chases that day, but I think
sergeant.
he came from Dennis Hogan's, had one run to protect his chase mark over hurdles, finished third. I think he's interesting. Gavin Cromwell, brilliant plot trainer.
All right, Andy is feverishly getting on his BetGoodwin app there. I like that, Andy. Mike, any more?
Oh, we got loads.
Oh,
absolutely, yeah. AD Smith-Pope, where are you, AD? AD's at the back there. Thank you for your question. Now, this is a technical one for you, fellas. What's the best handicap horse at Cheltenham in 2025? What do you reckon, Charlie?
Over to you, Aidan.
I don't look at the handicaps. I don't look at the handicaps.
Oh, Christ. He's just come out of the saddle.
I mean, you have to say Woodoo, no, in the conditional jockeys race. I mean, like
Martin Pike.
Yeah,
I've got one in that.
You've got one in that.
I like tap on the go in that for Henry. I think that'll be Henry's winner.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's been plotted up beautifully for that.
But I mean, you've obviously got the horse at the top of the market that supposedly has got
150 horse.
14 pounds in. But I mean,
me,
I think Woodoo, like the form of the Cheltenham race, worked out unbelievably well for Gordon Elliott. And
She's unbeaten, isn't she?
Yeah, and I'd take the favourite on with her.
All right. Okay, Mike. Hopefully that was good idea. Hopefully,
Yeah, that was good. I like that. The next one is how does Mr. Head get such a great suntan? Is another one here.
It's out of a bottle.
Dare I ask who that was from, Mike?
That's Eileen from Table 10. Where are you, Eileen?
Eileen, Table 10.
Table 10? Oh, she's disappeared, is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you get your tan from, Mike? Where'd you get your lovely tan from?
Yeah, oh, God. I had a lovely weekend on the slopes in France. Aren't I lucky boy, Julian, I tell you.
Only the cat.
I got wiped out by a 5-year-old French schoolboy as well, which was great. Interesting
There's an image.
experience.
No sense.
He'll be celebrating that now, won't he?
And you made it home, cat.
I wiped out a roast beef. Okay, here's a question. If you could ride any horse, boys, Charlie and Aidan, at the festival this week, who would it be?
You didn't ask me that.
Galopin Des Champs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Galopin Des Champs, definitely. Yeah.
Would Galopin Des Champs win with Dave Orton on his back?
Probably.
Don't do the distances, though.
It'd be an interesting spectacle anyway. Getting him on would be the problem.
That ain't happening. That's not happening. I'm absolutely terrified of them. They stand on the back legs there, 3 times as tall as us. They could run this world if they could do that. I'm absolutely terrified.
Do you want another one?
Wonderful backers, though.
Susie from Table 10. When is the BetGoodwin advert coming out, Julian?
Oh.
The casino advert.
Very soon. We've got one slight hitch. I don't know whether you guys know Big John, but he's in the advert. And we put it through to Poste for a firm called Clearcast. And after his recent attendance on the Brits Award, they're looking at him a bit more closely to make sure his audience isn't too young. Because if it is, he won't be able to be on the advert. But fingers crossed, we get it passed. So it won't be too long.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, though. Here's one. Charlie Sharp, Table 2. Charlie says, Tiapu, surely the odds-on shot to take on.
Oh, hey. Sharpie. He's from the Racing Post, he's Sharpie. Everyone boo.
I'm with Sharpie. Yeah.
You're with Sharpie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sharpie,
you still want to work there, that's why.
Yeah, well, yeah. Me and you, Sharpie, yeah, we'll stick together, yeah.
You Judas. Right. The good ship Racing Post, of course. One more, Mike?
Yeah, sure. Charlie Fawcett, I don't know where Charlie's sitting. He says, what chance Melina Girl, that's Gavin Cromwell's, isn't it, in the Ultima? Did you talk about her?
Which one was that, Mike?
Melina Girl.
Melina Girl, tipped up by Paul Keeley, of course, quite confident in the Racing Post. Anyone had a look?
Yeah, I mean, she's a big player, isn't she?
She's a big price, isn't she? I'm going to have a look at that
No,
one.
I think she shortened up a bit. Yeah.
Oh, you do think she's shortened up, do you, Charlie? What have you shortened her up into?
What have I shortened her up into? My own book.
Come on, I'll have a look. Melina's Girl. Yes, Gav Cromwell. He plays by a different rule book to the rest of the trainers, and I think he's going to have at least 3 winners on the week. I'm that bullish about it. Just 12-1 actually, with BetGoodwin. Anyway, Mike, that's all we've got time for. We might go through them, and the ambassadors will be walking around. If we've got some questions and I've seen them, I think they're worth it. I'll get the guys to come over. So once again, thanks to the cat, please. After his extremely dangerous liaison on the Alps. You never know where you're going to go with these things. Right, okay. I think we've got an ambassador act as well, haven't we, Julian?
I believe so.
Now, this is something you might want to get involved with at home as well and in the audience. Open up an account and get involved. Is it going on the screen? Yes, there it is. On your screens now, you'll see that at home as well. And Mike Catt has gone for Galopin. The master trainer has gone for? John Bond, says Chris Gordon. Gets it over the line. Constitution Hill and Lossiemouth tomorrow as well. Julian, what's that going to be boosted to?
Well, looking at that one, they seem to have trimmed John Bond a little bit. I don't know whether that's an error. We were 10 to 11 last time I looked, but we're boosting it. Not 6 to 1, not 13 to 2, a massive 7 to 1. 7 to 1, the Acker accumulator.
Yes, okay, happy days. That's pretty much the most bankers for everyone out there. That would be industry best price in the village. 7 to 1, the Ambassador Acker. Now, that's the Ambassador's best bets. It's time, yeah, we got to the business end, somehow, for the naps from the panel. Julian, have you got best bet?
I've got a nap. Forget all these odds-ons. Tommy Cannon, Telepathic, Mare's Chase on the Friday. The Shrewdies are on at 14s. People like me are on at 6 to 1. That's what I want to be on.
Lovely, yeah, Telepathy, good chance in the mare's race. Aidan, you flirted East India Doc. You said Galopin Des Champs would be the ride of the week.
I would go with Julian's distance bet on Galopin Des Champs.
Nice. He knows how to play the game.
13-8. It's the value, Aidan.
Yeah, I love it. All right, to absolutely hose up in the Gold Cup. Poste.
Lulamba 2 to 1, the Triumph Hurdle.
Lulamba.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming. I'm going to give you one, if you don't mind. I'm going to try and get a price out of Julian when we go off. Once the dust is settling on the Gold Cup, there's something called a Hunter Chase that you know rides. The amateur's time to shine. And Angel Dawn, I think, has got an absolutely amazing chance for Sam Curlin. Kim Muir winner, would have finished second to the rather well handicapped, I know you were thinking, last year. Had she stood up 2 out. She's 2 from 2 in points and 7 to 2, if you can get any of that. 4 to 1, we'll try and get it out of him for the end. That is my nap of the festival. I'm napping in the Hunter Chase. Don't think David Maxwell's riding, we're good. Oh, there was a gasp from Claire. He nearly won one for Kingy on Saturday, didn't he?
Did he, Dave? I didn't see that particular race.
I think Kingy's just put his drink down. Right, OK, Maxie, we love you, of course. All right, OK, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the 2025 BetGoodwin Plumpton Racecourse Block Out the Noise Festival. Give us a round of applause for Charlie Poste, for Aidan Coleman, Julian Distance's Head. Let's fill him in, boys. Let's take it in a degree. Chris, the master trainer Gordon, and Mike, the French schoolboy Cattermole. Thanks to Azim and the boys, Rob as well at the end. It's been really good. Great to see you all. Have a happy festival, one and all. I've been Dave Orton. Cheers.